Hello guys and girls, and welcome to another really good episode. This is Mac Mondays, and today I will be showing you how I maintain the battery life of my iPhone 6s. This will be my first iOS tutorial for this series, and I really hope it's beneficial to you guys and you enjoy this episode and give it a like. So, there are 3 fundamental steps that I take to make sure that I'm getting the best out of my iOS device. To see how much battery life each and every app is using, all we need to do is go into the settings app here. Scroll down until we see battery. May have paused it. There we go. As well as a description of what low power mode does, having the option to have the battery percentage on. We have a list of apps here. Now it is broken down into 2 categories. Apps that have been used within the last 24 hours or the last 7 days. I usually leave it on the last 24 hours. Here we can see a breakdown of how much battery life an app uses to function properly. For example, Facebook here uses 32% battery life when it is left on in the background or even in use. YouTube uses 15% battery life when it is on in the background or in use. Instagram doesn't use that much. It only uses 3% battery life. If we continue down the list here, you can see a very detailed report of how an app functions and how much battery life it needs to function. To make sure that there are no apps running in the background, double tap on the home screen. Hold on, let me just open a bunch of apps here to give you a full demonstration of what I'm talking about, and why not YouTube too. So we double tap on the home button. Ta-da! Now we have the multitasking panel. I like to call these app cards. Apple also referred to them as cards. It is now easier to swipe through and quit apps that you no longer want running. Let's just quickly, basic principle. Swiping from right to left, left to right. To quit apps, all you need to do is you can either swipe with one finger, swipe up, and that quits one app. To quit 2 apps at the same time, use multi-gesture. So 2 fingers to swipe up. Hopefully you guys can see this. Oops. Yeah. There we go. Sorry, I'm not able to do this very well because I want to make sure that my hand isn't covering the entire screen here. Let's try that again. 2 fingers quits 2 reps. Do this until you only have the home screen available in the multitasking panel. It helps so much, believe me. Another thing I do, which will, prompt you anyway after it gets to a certain percentage, is use low power mode, which again, if we go into the battery menu of the settings app, oops, wrong one, you will see we have an option for low power mode. Now, low power mode temporarily reduces power consumption until you can fully charge your iPhone. When this is on, mail fetch, Hey Siri, background app refresh, automatic downloads, and some other visual effects are reduced or turned off. So basically, the backlight, for example, may be dim, or a Hey Siri function is turned off, so you have limited use of Siri. The battery gauge at the top turns from black to yellow. Some people have this on all the time, but I don't really like having it on permanently. It just gets my OCD going. But anyway, yeah. Another thing I do is use other devices. As we all know, this is Apple's lightning cable. A USB on one end, and a lightning port on the other. Now, it has to be said, I don't find these cables to be very useful. In fact, I think they are very flimsy. And it's not like me to criticize Apple. I just find these cables to be very flimsy and poorly made. It's too short to use as a charge and sync cable. I had to change these cables every 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks I would either pop into an Apple store or order a new cable to be replaced, and it would be just spending. It was never practical. Each and every time I would have to spend, I think it's £15 in the UK for one of these cables, and seeing as it comes standard with every iOS device, you'd expect these cables to be durable, but unfortunately, they're not. So, to solve this problem, what did I do? Well, I went out and spent around, I think it was 40 to 60 pounds for one of these lightning dogs. Now, the reason why I bought one of these things is because I thought it would be a good idea and far more practical if the lightning cable stayed plugged in, less wear and tear and less likely to be, damaged and replaced if it is like that. And I was right, I've had this dog since the beginning of November, and I'm yet to replace this cable. And now you may be wondering why I have two. I have two because for this bad boy, this is a power bank. To be more specific, it is an Anchor power bank. Now, this stick will give you one full charge when you're on the go. So it takes about 5 to 6 hours to charge this stick using your computer's USB port. When it is fully charged, it will give you one full battery cycle. It is pretty good. I do love this thing. It's known as Anchor's lipstick range. One of the best power banks that I've used to date, and I'm really pleased to have this thing with me at all times. When you're on the go, out and about, all you do is take your lightning cable and plug the USB port of your lightning cable to the USB port of the stick, and this end goes directly to your phone's charging port here. And when you want to charge, all you do is press the single button located right by the mini USB port of the power bank. You will get a green LED and your device will start charging. Yeah, this thing is amazing. When you're done charging, the light will go off. Obviously, this isn't a great example, but the light will completely grey out, so you know the power bank is out of battery and needs a recharge. One last thing I'd like to show you guys before I end this episode is Battery Doctor. Now, I think this app is amazing. It's available, I think it's still available in the App Store. I'm not entirely sure, but if you search Battery Doctor, I'm sure something like it or even the same one will still be available. This app not only analyzes the amount of RAM and memory you're using, it also analyzes how much of your phone's content is junk. So think of it like handling a Windows PC, like you're handling a Windows PC. It will clear out temporary files and boost the performance of your iPhone significantly. It not only analyzes memory and storage, but also lets you know how long you have left on your battery, and it tells you the charging time for it to reach 100%. So for me, at the moment, it says the charging time is an hour and 56 minutes. I think this app is a great little app. It's necessary, and it lets you know how regularly you should charge your phone and when to charge your phone. A little bit of advice here: never let your phone drain to 1%. That is a danger zone. It's apparent, according to Apple, if you leave your phone at 1%, your battery life is more likely to drain a lot quicker. You won't get efficient use out of it, and it will just be an utter ball ache to deal with. Later on, it will show its effects. So I suggest that you don't do that. I always charge when I'm at 20%. And right now, I'm halfway, and whenever I'm halfway, I always like to turn on the low power mode. Again, to do that, we go into settings here, scroll down to battery, I hope you can see this, and turn low power mode on. Remember, when low power mode is on, your battery gauge changes from green to yellow. And in order to preserve battery, it restricts some of the phone's functions temporarily until you're able to get to a power source. Another way to preserve battery, I wanted to show you this kind of like bonus content just before I go. What did Steve Jobs always say? One more thing. So I wanted to show you one more thing before I leave here. Another way to preserve battery, which I have tried this and it is tested, is to turn the grayscale on. If there's less color, the phone doesn't have to deal with the color intensity, and we all know that colors and pixels need more battery to function properly. So if you're low on battery, I suggest that you also do this. Go into your settings app once again. Go into General, where is it? Accessibility, and turn grayscale on. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but as of right now, my phone is black and white. It kind of looks cool, don't you think? Remember, if you want to buy any of my accessories, this is the Anchor Power Bank, and it is a great little device. It's available on Amazon, and also this lightning cable. You can also what am I talking about? Lightning dock. You can also purchase from Amazon or Apple themselves. That is it for today's episode. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Please, please, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys and girls, this is B signing off.